Classic Restos is proudly brought to you by Shannons Insurance, where you can sign up for the Shannons Club, and Penrite Oil, offering technical assistance 7 days a week.
Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Classic Restos. Of course, not possible without the continued support from Shannons Insurance and Penrite Oil. How cool is this? A dak here with a coffee machine on back. It doesn't matter. You can have it insured with Shannons. Why not pick up the phone and give Shannons a call for a quote and for more information as to how they can help you on 134646. And don't forget to sign up to become a member of the Shannons Club, where you can interact with fellow enthusiasts. It truly is your garage. Find out more when you visit Shannons at shannons.com.au. And when it comes time for the best in oils, coolants, fuel additives and so much more, you cannot go past Penrite, because Fletch said. Now let's have a look at Penrite for a sec. They've been established since 1926. Australian made, Australian owned. And if you need oils, coolants for anything with a piston and a crankshaft, down to this bike here, the old V-twin behind me, you cannot go past Penrite. Their technical assistance team is there to help us also 7 days a week. Find out more when you visit Penrite online at penriteoil.com.au. Oil right, use Penrite, simply a better class of oil. And on today's show, it's just a little drive around halfway between Sydney and Newcastle, New South Wales. And you don't have to be Einstein to work out that this is a nice part of the world. And the people that live here are proud of their region. But proud people are everywhere. And when the locals put on a car show, you can be assured it's going to be a fantastic event every time. Welcome to the 2015 Northern Beaches Car and Bike Fest. Moving through, we have Mario now. How are you, Mario?
Very good, Fletch. Thanks very much, Fletch.
That's okay. You're welcome, Mario. Now, look, Classic Restos, the show about the people and the diversity, the stuff that people bring along. Now, you've got a high-powered cycle here, Mario. Now, tell us about this.
Okay, I built this when I was 15. And
what are you now, 17, right?
Yeah. Then I had my fun with it as growing up in the teenage years, and then it was left aside, and then 2006 I decided to restore it.
So it's your original bike from when you were a kid, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, now it's gold. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I wanted to do something different than just normal chrome, so I went 23 karat gold.
23 karat gold?
23 karat gold, yeah.
I won't ask you what you do for work.
Repair lawnmowers.
It's funny that you said this, because the little engine on back there, I'm thinking, I'm looking for the base plate and the blades, Mario. Yeah. At least the brush cutter line. You know, you can mow the end patch while you're going along.
That's right, yeah.
All right, now talking about the engine department, what's going on there? Tell us the size and the power and how the thing performs.
Well, it's a 37cc Tanaka engine from Japan, and it's more or less 50 years old.
And being Japanese too, it'll be incredibly reliable.
Yeah. I've put electronic ignition in it, get rid of the points, and then I decided to go nitrous as well. But I'm too scared to try it.
I got to admire this man's tenacity to put nitrous on a push bike. And you haven't really upgraded your brakes either, Mario, so shooting along and trying to pull up, I guess you got to plan ahead, right?
Yeah, you got to think ahead, yeah. Prepare first.
That's awesome. How long did it take you to come up with this concept? Is it something that you did as a kid? Did you think about, I'd love an engine on a push bike frame, and just went from there?
I did see one guy with an engine on his bike, and I said, okay, I've got to do the same. And then my friend's a motor mechanic, he's the same age as me, and then we put it together, and it was at the front at first. And I said, no, this is like a front wheel drive, it's not getting anywhere. So then I put it at the back and it just went quicker and pushed me along. And
Good on you, mate. Well, look, it's been lovely catching up with you. You're a hell of a nice guy. Thanks for bringing this bike along. It's something really different, and I think it's pretty cool. Good on you, mate.
Thank you, Fletch.
From a high-powered push bike through to a legendary cycle, this Harley Davidson, a 1938 EL Knucklehead. Welcome to today's show, Bill.
Go, Fletch, how you going, mate?
Good. Thanks for turning up.
Well, mate, I enjoy it all the time.
This bike behind me here, boy, if that's not inspiration to want to get on and go for a ride, nothing would be.
It's an everyday rider. I ride it as much as I possibly can, you know.
Now, Bill, how long have you had this Harley?
Since '94.
How did you feel back then to acquire such a bike?
Well, I went to buy spare parts, seen it sitting in the side of the workshop, fell in love with it. Next one I come home for another bike.
Now, Bill, obviously when I saw this bike from a distance, world's fastest Indian, I thought it was an Indian from a distance, of course, until you get up closer. They've just got that classic look. I mean, I think the burgundy red, the colour scheme for a start, just really suits this bike.
Yeah, well, it is. There was only, in this model, there was only about 4 colours. It was blue, red, black and green. So, and this was the closest red I could pick, and that's why people think it's an Indian, because it's red.
Yeah.
And when I bought it, it was red, so I said it's going to stay red.
And how cool is the side gear shift as well? That I love that.
Once you get used to it, you just don't look down. It just becomes natural.
Yeah.
It's got, and don't forget, you've got a foot clutch.
Yeah.
So you've got to learn to use the clutch as well as all that, and you've got to be very careful doing a left-hand turn, because if you slip off that clutch, you're away, you're gone.
I've heard that before. Don't look down.
Yeah, mate, exactly.
Bill, the big V twin. Tell us about that. The size, the power.
It's a 1,000cc. It's roughly probably about 45, 60 horsepower.
Bill, who have you got the bike insured with?
Shannons.
There's only one.
Well, they look after me, looking after me. At one stage I had 7 bikes and there was 4 vintage bikes amongst them. I've still got 4 bikes now.
The emotional value you can't put a figure on. No. But a bike such as this, what would it be worth, Bill?
Last year I was offered 70,000 cash for it. One went through Shannons, a 47 model. This is 10 years earlier. I've now put the insurance up to $90,000 because I've never seen, or the boys have never seen, another 38 on the road.
It just goes to show you have to have insurance, and not just insurance but the best. Find out more through Shannons, classicrestos.com.au for more major sponsor contact information. Good on you, Bill. Lovely bloke, mate. Nice catching up with you.
Thanks, Fletch. Thank you very much. Thanks for your time.
You're welcome. And of course, as you know, when it comes to the best in classic vehicle, home and contents insurance, you cannot go past Shannons. Why not pick up the phone and give Shannons a call for a quote and a chat on 134646. You can also sign up to become a member of the Shannons Club, where it truly is your garage. Find out more when you visit Shannons at shannons.com.au. And Penrite, Australian made, Australian owned, and been around since 1926. The technical assistance team is also there to help us 7 days a week. Find out more at penriteoil.com.au. You're watching the 2015 Northern Beaches Car and Bike Fest, and you're watching it first on Classic Restos. Back with more in just a moment. Welcome back. We've got Chris now, 1964 Type 3 Volkswagen. How are you, Chris?
Very well, thanks, Fletch.
That's good. Thanks for turning up in this car today.
Well, thanks for being here.
It's the only one here.
So far.
Type 3, that is. Now, Chris, this is not your everyday average Type 3. It's a custom Type 3. I kind of like what Chris has done here. It's not too over the top, but some very sensible modifications. Just run us through a few of those, Chris.
Run a 2.2 Subaru motor and a Subaru 5-speed gearbox, which is modified. And we have a full custom interior as well. Run a Subaru dash. So the whole driveline is really 1990 Subaru.
There's a lot of space up front there, Chris, just for the washer bottle.
I was running out of space to put things, yeah.
There's a lot going on there. Now, Chris, you're a clever sort of a guy. Now, how did you go with the driveline, adapting the Subaru engine to, I assume, original Volkswagen?
Yeah, well, that's a business to do that. Subaru Gears helped me out with that. It's a modified gearbox, and it's a remachined crown wheel and pinion, cut in reverse. Crown wheel's flipped over in the other side of the transmission because we turned the transmission around, otherwise it'd be 5 reverse gears.
Geez, there's some clever people out there. You know, I would never have thought of that. That's amazing.
Well, we've got a modern driveline now. This car drives like a Subaru, and only weighs 1,000 kilos and does surprise a few people.
Chris, I like the old school look with the rack on top of the roof too. There's something about a Volkswagen with those roof racks on the roof. They're cool.
Oh, look, the best thing to do is to keep it subtle and keep any changes subtle. It just leaves all the attention away from you, but it still stands out in the crowd, you know.
Comfortable car to drive too, Chris. The interior's nice.
Yeah, it's great. My brother did all the upholstery for me, so we've sort of keep it in the family a bit. So we've modified the back seat to a 2-seat.
That's awesome. Look, this is what it's all about. It's about being different. It's about keeping you young, feeling good about the car that you drive, getting out there and having some fun. Absolutely. That's what it's all about, isn't it?
Oh, this is what it's all about, and for me as well, it's nice to get out on the weekends. We do a bit of surfing as well in the northern beaches down here, and we really enjoy the lifestyle down here on the northern beaches.
Yeah, you poor buggers. Good on you, good on you, Chris. Keep the dream alive, mate.
Absolutely, and thanks for being here, Fletch.
You're welcome. Now, I'm not meaning to turn today's episode into a Volkswagen show. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but this 1967 Bug I could not turn down. How are you, Tony?
Yeah, good, Fletch. Yeah, good.
That's right, mate. Totally restored, concourse car, pristine in every way. This is immaculate.
It's probably one of the best cars going around, actually, on the V-Dubs. I've won 2 years in a row the V-Dub Nationals. I'm hard to catch. It's hard to beat.
Mate, you've had a lot of time on your hands, haven't you?
I have. Thanks to my wife, give me a lot of time in the garage, and my little son beside me, he helped me build it up. We built it together.
He was spinning some spanners as well, was he?
Oh, he was. At like 11 o'clock at night, my wife would come in. Come on, guys, come inside. But he'll be there turning the spanner, holding some rope for me to put the windows in, and yeah.
That is awesome. The car itself. When you got the car, Tony, what sort of condition was it in?
Oh, look, it had been in storage for about 23 years. It was all original. It was all there. So it was a bit of rust here and there on the floor pan, but apart from that, it was all original, immaculate.
I believe the cleaner the original car, the better the finished result. Yeah, well, it just makes life a lot easier, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Well, when you got a product to work with, it makes it easier, a lot easier. Yeah,
I love the paint. What's the colour?
It's a birch green colour. It's original off the compliance plate. That's the thing that took my eye on it. When I saw the colour, I was actually after a birch green colour. Couldn't resist on the colour on it.
You've got Venetian blind in back as well. The interior is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, look, I brought it back to original condition as much as I can. Probably better than when they come out from factory. I really done my homework on it, read up and studied on it before I got stuck into it. And then slowly, it took me 4 years in the making, but we got there in the end. So now I'm just enjoying it. I like to show it on shows. That's it.
Good on you, Tony. Thanks for coming along today. Had to show you this. I mean, it's just not every day of the week that one of these bugs comes along like this. Thank you, Tony.
Thank you, mate. Thanks, mate.
With me now, event organiser Barney. How are you, Barney?
Very good, thanks. How are you?
Good, mate. Good. Good day. What are we going to expect here today?
Apart from this morning, we've had the bad weather. I was hoping to get over maybe 200 cars and bikes today, but the weather's in the morning was being pretty shocking, but it's going to clear up and be a really nice day.
Barney, never rule out the diehards.
Yes, exactly right. We're getting a lot of feedback this morning about the event, so hopefully they'll get on down here and be an awesome day. The event's been going on for 4 years. It's our 4th year. The event seems to be growing every single year with the cars and bikes coming down, and also the local community actually getting involved and getting behind it, which is great.
All of these car shows, 99.9% of the time, stand for a great cause in terms of charities. Now, what's this one represent?
This charity, we represent the HeartKids.
Raising money for kids. I really can't think of a nicer cause. But what do we say about this? I mean, the classic car people, the bike people, truck people, all got hearts of gold when it comes to days like this. And Barney, on the behalf of everyone, mate, thanks for keeping this event alive here.
No worries, thanks, Fletch, and I appreciate that, and hope to see you back next year, mate.
All right, now before you go, now we're in the northern beaches, or north of Sydney, here in New South Wales, Australia. Now, people want to get in contact with you. Is there a Facebook page?
We've got a Facebook page. It's the Northern Beaches Car and Bike Fest. You can hook on there and like our page as well while you're there, and we seem to be updating that a bit more often now as well. We're getting right into that as well, so it's a learning curve for myself.
If you've stumbled upon this episode and you haven't been to a car show before, and maybe even not a great interest in anything classic, just do yourself a favour and keep in mind to pop along to one. You just never know, you might get hooked on one of these classic time machines and meet blokes like this. Good on you, Barney.
Thanks very much, Fletch. Cheers, bud.
The most important aspect of the event here today is, of course, the charity, and it's HeartKids. We have Lara now, the head of family support. How are you, Lara?
I'm good, thanks, Fletch.
That is good. Are you happy with the turnout here and attendance?
Yeah, it's wonderful. There's a lot of people here today supporting HeartKids.
This is the first time for Classic Restos to be at this actual event. Boy, oh boy, you know, these car shows, they pop up, although this is a few years established. Now, HeartKids, what's the statistics on what's happening with our newborn kids?
So 8 children are born every day with heart disease. That's 1 in every 100.
It's so catastrophic, isn't it? I think that these poor kids, it's like as though they're not even born with a chance. I mean, they just enter the world, they've already got heart disease. It's terrible.
Yeah, it's a hard road for these kids, but that's why HeartKids raises funds for life-saving research.
It's the old story too, no federal funding for you guys?
No, we're just rely solely on things like this and donations from people.
Aren't the car shows great, getting behind charities such as yours?
Yeah, it's wonderful. It's a great event and we're very grateful.
Now, is there a website for you guys?
Yes, www.heartkidsnewsouthwales.org.au.
Okay, now people can, if you're watching the show and you want to make a donation, they can go online and do that?
Yes, so help mend a broken heart and donate to HeartKids New South Wales.
Lara, thank you for turning up today. Whatever the car show here can do, whatever Classic Restos can do, the community as a whole, hope it helps you guys and wish you all the very best for the future.
Thanks very much, Fletch.
If you like your American Iron, plus you'd like to come to the United States of America with Fletch, maybe you can consider a Fletch tour. Have a look at this.
You deserve a Fletch tour. See the amazing Ford, GM and Chrysler Nationals at Carlisle events, along with museums and private collections in beautiful Pennsylvania, USA. Then it's the Motown city of Detroit and its region, taking in more die-hard stuff with incredible history. Rounding off with the Woodwood Dream Cruise, the largest moving car cruise in the world.
The best part of coming here actually was having Fletch here.
We get picked up, we get dropped off.
Fletch is a wonderful tour guide.
I would just recommend a Fletch tour to anybody.
Go to classicrestos.com.au and click on the Fletch Tours icon for more information. Hope you're enjoying today's show. Back with more after this.
Moving through as we do, it's time now for Susanna. How are you, Susanna?
I'm good, Fletch.
Look at you, country lady, look at you. You're dressed in your attire, you're sitting on the back of the pickup truck here or the ute. I mean, wow, you do a lot of regional work?
I do original work, mostly with horses, not so much with trucks. But this truck had to work in my life. It's not a show truck. It works every day, carries hay, saddles, tows my horse float. So, yeah, it's my working truck.
How cool are you? I mean, have a look at you. I mean, I love the truck. It's almost, well, it is patina. I mean, you've got the clear coat over the natural, the abrasions in the paintwork. You've left that alone.
See that inside of the door there where the farmer's big sweaty arm wore off the paint?
Yeah.
When I did the paint job, I wanted to copy that.
Yeah.
I didn't want new. I wanted vintage, old.
Well, you've got that right. There's nothing new about this.
Yeah.
And where the sweaty farmer's arm went. Yeah, yeah. Now tell us about the actual truck, the year model, the brand and what it is.
It's a 1941 Chevrolet. It was called 3/4 ton drop side, which is what I've done here. I've made the tray so that the sides drop. I haven't restored it. I've made it work.
Yeah.
So there's really nothing original left on the truck other than the cab.
You have some little luxuries there, do you?
Of the cab.
Well, you've got power windows.
Yes, I've got power windows and power steering and aircon and, yeah, it's a girl's truck, you know, it has to be comfortable.
So the glass can go down easily as you do the royal wave as you go on through, you know. Yeah. I love how you've got it in theme here, like you said, with the hay there, the saddle out the back here. In terms of the history of the truck, Susanna, can you tell us anything about that?
I know that it was last registered before I bought it in 1967. And I found the truck out at Oberon.
Yep.
in Western New South Wales, in a paddock.
Yep.
And thought all my Christmases had come at once.
Yep.
Fletch, I insist that you take a picture of the interior, which is old tapestry, and you tell me if that is not so voluptuous. After all, it's a girl's truck. And I have my lipstick in a secret compartment and my perfume and a hip flask.
Hip flask. You know what? I've got to start riding around with this lady. Susanna, look, I'll leave it there. You're an amazing lady, and thank you for being on today's show. I've thoroughly enjoyed talking to you.
That's a pleasure, Fletch.
All right.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Time now for one of the biggest cars on the paddock. Have a go at this, a 1970 Ford LTD from the United States of America. And we have a bloke by the name of Val. How are you, Val?
Very well, thanks, Fletch.
That's the way, mate. This car's big. I mean, it almost needs its own postcode, you know?
Yeah, something like that.
What's it like to drive?
An absolute pleasure. It's like driving a farm truck.
They're just driving on a cloud.
Yeah, well, this one especially, yeah. I've owned that many of these, and probably this is by far the best one I've ever had.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, you might be familiar with the 351 Cleveland. Well, you've got it right. It's in this big girl here. Just goes to show how torquey the small block Cleveland is to be in a big, full-size American car such as this.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, for the power and output that this thing has, it just the economy plus the way it cruises, I'm just very surprised.
Now, what's the story of this car, Val? I know it's very original. Give us the rundown.
Well, the story goes, the guy I bought this car off here, he's owned the car since 1994, and he only just bought it so he could take his kids around for a drive and all that. The car got re-registered back in 2010, and then it was used as this gentleman's daily driver. I had a look at the car around this time last year, and around April, I ended up purchasing this car off this fella. He wasn't too egotistic on getting rid of it, but at the same time, I was sort of happy when I purchased it because it's got big plans as well. I got big plans for this car.
We move inside. Beautiful car in the interior. I mean, just so sumptuous, aren't they?
Yeah, lounge room on wheels, as they say.
So, Val, tell us just quickly before you go, when did you get hooked on the big cars? I mean, you're not an old bloke now by any means. I mean, did you always have the fetish from a small kid? What's the deal there?
Well, yes. Since I was a small child, I mean, I've grown up like with my mother and my father. My father always had, big F trucks, old Fairlanes, HQ 253 Premiers, and all this sort of stuff. We sort of bounced back from Ford Holden. Then at the end, we sort of got hooked on the Fords.
Val, love the LTD, mate. Thanks for bringing it along here today and having it on this episode of Classic Restos. Val, thank you.
You're very welcome, Fletch.
Thanks, mate.
Hey, Fletch, you remember, I think it was about 2011, I gave you a call and I was looking for a 67 GTO?
No, not really.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought I'd call you, I thought you're the man anyway, and you told me, no, bugger off, there's none around, and you told me to go up the States. So I went to the States, and here it is.
I said that I would have said it politely.
Say it nicely.
I do a TV show, but I don't actually know where the cars are for sale, but I'm glad you found one.
You're very nice about it. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
What a stunning car. And like you say, I was going to say like that burgundy red. What's the name of the colour?
Matador red.
Right.
Yeah, but it wasn't a Pontiac colour in 67. The guy had to specially order it. And, only one in the world that colour, so it's a special one.
Tony, the car is flawless. I mean, I can't, not that I'm trying to find a fault here, but I can't.
Oh, thanks, Fletch. No, it's pretty cool. Spent a lot of time on it, a lot of money,
All I can say is I'm glad that you contacted me about a year and a half ago. I can't say that I do remember, but I'm so glad that you took my advice and you found the Pontiac of your dreams, mate, because I tell you what, if this is an inspiration for anyone looking for a classic car, or if you've got something in mind, just keep persevering, because this is living proof.
Thanks, Fletch. Thanks very much.
Thanks, mate.
Okay, thank you.
And so ends another week's episode of Classic Restos, the 2015 Northern Beaches Car and Bike Fest. In the meantime, classicrestos.com.au is the website that you need for the DVD box sets of the show, Classic Restos merchandise, contacting us and joining us on a Fletch tour, and of course the major sponsors as well. As I say at the end of every show, no matter where you're watching from, until next week, please ride and drive safe. I'm Fletch, and I thank you very much for watching. You can like and follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/Classic Restos TV and watch catch-up episodes at shannons.com.au.
Classic Restos is proudly brought to you by Shannons Insurance, where you can sign up for the Shannons Club, and Penrite Oil, offering technical assistance 7 days a week.